So the first thing that we would do is we would get a list of all of your employees so that we could add them to our system, to your organization within our system. For the purposes of this demonstration, I've added just a couple of users and then I will use a couple of existing users as well. So let's take a look here at Jesse Smith, for example. I'm going to click on Jesse Smith, and you'll see that I have given him the job assignment of the Workforce Development Director. And that is within the U.S. Navy organization inside of this system. So when I click on Workforce Development Director here, a couple of things. First of all, you'll see that it is the U.S. Navy organization, and that this individual does not necessarily have a manager assigned because this individual is the executive level manager in the situation that we're looking at here. And then we can go back and we can take a look at Lindsay James. Now, Lindsay James is going to be very key in this entire demonstration because Lindsay is a training specialist. And the training specialist, again, in the U.S. Navy organization, reports to Jesse Smith. So you can see that we have the Workforce Development Director that manages this employee. So you have your higher level manager listed here. Okay? So the overall organizational chart will look like Jesse Smith at the top, and then underneath of that will be the training specialist position, which belongs to Lindsay. Then we have Jamie Klein. And when I click on Jamie Klein, you will see that I also have a job assignment as an innovation specialist. Now, this innovation specialist also reports to Jesse Smith. So I'm on this same organizational chart level as Lindsay. And I'm showing you this so that you can see the 360 feedback and how it works on all levels. And then underneath of Lindsay, we have a user that reports to her, and that would be the training assistant. And so Jamie is the training assistant here. So you can see that he reports directly to Lindsay James, or the training specialist. So Lindsay's sort of in the middle. So there's one person below her, one colleague on the same level as her, and then one person above her in terms of the 360-degree evaluation. Then the next thing that I want to show you is the actual evaluation. Now, when we look at 360-degree feedback, this is part of the overall performance appraisal. Now, you can use it separate. It doesn't have to be with the performance appraisal, but the 360-degree evaluation, it can be just one piece of that overall appraisal. So I'm going to click on this 360-degree evaluation here, and I'm going to look at the content. Now, this is where we can set up any and all of the questions that we want to tailor to the needs of your company and your positions. And different positions might require different questions, just depending on where they sit on the organizational chart. So this can be modified in regard to whatever it is that you are looking for in your evaluation. Now, the way that that is set up and modified will affect how we report on it. So it's difficult to give you a report based on the fact that we're not quite sure what exactly you're going to want for questions, or at least groupings that we can come up with questions and then come up with your report. So what will happen is I can preview this, and I can see the question, and then on the sliding scale, you know, where that person sits. Now this is not actually completing one, it's just a example. And then here's the text area where you can type in text about this greatest strengths of this person and the greatest weakness in terms of the position that they hold. So again, we would work with you to customize what would make most sense in your specific organization in terms of questions. Next would be the assignments. Now, assignments are who is this assigned to? Who do we want to assign this to in terms of who's going to be evaluated? And in this case, remember, it's Lindsay James. Lindsay is the training specialist position, and we want Lindsay to get that 360-degree feedback from others in the organization. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log out, and I'm going to log back in as Lindsay. Okay, now up on the very top, you'll see performance for Lindsay, and you can see the 360-degree feedback shows up there because Lindsay has been assigned a 360 feedback evaluation. So I'm going to click on this. Now remember, I'm in as Lindsay here, okay? Now, feedback about you. There is no feedback yet because there have been no requests made. So as Lindsay James, I can go in and I can choose who I want to select feedback from. Now, remember, Jessie Smith is my supervisor, Jamiel is my employee, and Jamie is my colleague on the same level. So once I click on those individuals, I can also put a note here. Please get my evaluation done prior to the holiday break. I can set a due date if I want to, and I said we wanted to get it done before the holiday break, so I'm going to put December 23rd. Once I hit the request button here, it's going to automatically generate an email to these 3 individuals regarding the request that Lindsay has posed. Oops, let's see. Oh, sorry. Okay, so are you sure you want to create feedback requests for these individuals? I'm going to say confirm. Now, as Lindsay, I can still see my 360 feedback here, and I know that I have 0 responses out of 3. And notice too, this is not anonymous. It's going to tell me who is giving me my feedback. And that is important because if it's anonymous, it's very difficult to tell what level it came from. If it came from above, below, or on your level of the organizational chart. So it really is important that we garner responses that are not anonymous. Now, if you would rather do anonymous, that's fine as well. So as one of the people who have done this, who have received this as part of their request, that would be me. You'll see I get an email, and this email says, Lindsay James has requested you fill in their feedback form. Please click here and fill out their form. Probably what's going to need to happen is I will need to log in as me because I'm already logged in as her. That's the problem, is I'm already logged into Paradigm. So if I'm going to log out of Paradigm completely, and then I'm going to click on this and see if I can get a login screen instead of an error. There we go. So I'm going to log back in as me. Feedback for Lindsay James. and then I'm going to go and I'm going to put in my feedback. So I will say so, Lindsay's an excellent communicator, but Lindsay has trouble delegating and tends to take on too much work. So I'm going to submit my feedback. Okay, so I have now completed my feedback for Lindsay James. Now, I'm going to log out here, and if I log in as Lindsay, I'm going to be able to see Lindsay's, I'm going to be able to see Jamie's feedback logged in as Lindsay. But I also want to show you that, remember, Jessie Smith is Lindsay's supervisor. So when Jessie Smith logs in, notice that you have a 360-degree feedback here as well. And you can go in and respond to the requests, remember, that Lindsay had sent to you. Also, if you take a look at here on your home page, you'll see View My Team. I have 2 staff. So I'm going to click on View My Team. And here are the 2 people that directly report to me. Remember, Jamie Klein and Lindsay James are both on the same level, and they're directly under me as the director. Now, under Lindsay James's information here, you can see 360-degree feedback. Now, this allows you to go out and, let's see, view the responses for Lindsay. So you can go out and you can take a look at what responses have been out there, what they say, kind of a thing. You can also go out and add people. So if Lindsay would like to request a few people and you would like to request a few people to evaluate Lindsay on this 360, you can go out here and add users as well as her supervisor, which is really nice because then you know you're kind of getting that overall objective viewpoint. So you can also add external feedback, which is kind of nice in some situations if they deal with customers and things. You can actually put in email addresses down here that are external to this system so that they can also provide feedback. And so, you know, stakeholders, board members, customers, suppliers, whatever it might be. So you can also go out and take a look at those. And then you can view her responses. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to choose to view the response. And here are the point values. And then here are that person's individual comments. Now again, we can go in and we'll create your custom reports based on how you want the evaluation set up, but it's so fluid and so customizable that it's difficult to kind of figure out what to give you for a report without knowing exactly what you're looking for in your actual evaluation. And perhaps you have multiple evaluations. So if you have any more questions about this, make sure that you give me a call or email and let me know, and I would be happy to answer anything I can. Otherwise, I look forward to working with you.